Hi everybody, Professor Benelou here with a series of 3 short videos to discuss Unit 2 discussion board. In this video, I will simply discuss the general requirements of this assignment, and then the second video will be going over 3 of the topics that you can choose from, and the third video will be going over the last 3 topics you can choose to discuss in the Unit 2 discussion board. Okay, so away we go. This is broken up into 2 due dates. Your Unit 2 discussion board original post is going to be due Friday, June 7th by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's where you go over and you discuss the prompt that you choose to answer. And the second part, peer responses, are due June 11th by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. That is your responses to your classmates. Okay. So your initial discussion post requirements. You choose one of the primary source documents from the topic list below to discuss. Using the primary source reading, answer the following questions, and you must use the template provided to construct your original post. I will be messaging you through CTU Messenger the template that you need to use. Don't get so overwhelmed by this. Break it down into the 3 sections. First is context, which is worth 20 points. Name the document you chose to analyze. Who's the creator of the document? Briefly describe the creator of the document. To answer the questions, you may need to use information obtained from the introduction of the source and other course materials like IntelliPath. When and where was the document created? Again, you may need to use information from the introduction of the source or course materials like IntelliPath. Summary, worth 20 points. Write a brief summary of the source. What's the topic or issue covered in the source? What are the creator's main points about the topic? And what is one interesting thing said in this source? Third, connections. How does the source help you better understand the Unit 2 learning materials? You want to discuss how this source fits into what you learned in Unit 2, particularly in IntelliPath. And does this source help you to really understand the topic? Does it support what you already knew about the topic? Or does the source change the way you think about this topic? If so, how? So it's all well and good to say that in this assignment you have to analyze a primary document. Well, what is a primary document? A primary document is a document written during a specific era of history that you were studying. So let's say you're studying the American Revolution, the Declaration of Independence would definitely be a primary document from that time. If you're studying the Civil Rights Movement, Dr. King's letter from a Birmingham jail would be an excellent primary source document. Within this assignment, you're asked to describe a primary source document, the circumstances under which it was created, and how this document still impacts us today. There are 2 great websites right here that discuss and greatly define a primary document. Okay, here is the topic list. Bay of Pigs, Cuban Missile Crisis. Bay of Pigs was an invasion by Cuban exiles that occurred in April of 1961. Cuban Missile Crisis, of course, was what occurred once the U.S. had military gained intelligence that the Soviets were building missile sites within Cuba. Vietnam War Protest is a document, basically a speech by John Kerry protesting the war. He was a returning Vietnam vet. Women's Rights Movement, the formation of National Organization of Women, and Chicano Rights Movement, going over the work of Cesar Chavez in an attempt to get more rights for migrant workers. And the Black Power movement discusses the formation of groups like the Black Panthers. Okay, choose whichever one you feel is the most fascinating to you. Excuse me, they're all great topics and you will find plenty of research material on any of them. Okay, so the next section that you need to do, is due June 11th, is the peer responses. You must respond to 2 of your classmates. And I love my students because you all are so supportive of each other, and I absolutely love that. But you got to go more in depth than just great job, Sue, great job, John. Why? Okay? In fact, in your responses, you should be answering the following 4 questions for this assignment. What did you learn from your classmates' post? Are there connections between what you learned from your source and what you learned about their source? What is one interesting thing you learned from your fellow students' post? And what clarification do you need regarding their post? So be sure to answer those questions and pretty much tailor it to your fellow classmates' post. Okay? Grading criteria. This is exactly what I'm going to be using to grade your Unit 2 DB. So use this and your template as a blueprint for constructing this assignment. I'm going to look, context. Student identifies the creator, including a brief description. Student identifies when and where the document was created. My comments, however many points out of 20. Summary. Student fully summarizes the document, identifying the main topic, the main points, and at least one interesting detail. My comments, however many points out of 20. Connection. Student identifies connection between the primary source and unit learning materials. Student includes a discussion of how the source expanded or changed their previous knowledge. My comments, however many points out of 20. Peer responses. Student responds to at least 2 of their peers. You respond to 2 of your peers, you will get the 20 points. Response content. Peer responses add new depth or insight to the current conversation and encourages further conversation. I believe that's key, encourages further conversation. My comments, how many points out of 10? Academic writing. Student uses proper spelling, proper punctuation, proper grammar to write clearly and effectively. References, if provided, are in APA format. My comments, how many points out of 10? I total everything up and have your score out of 100. So that is that. Okay, so the pertinent information for this assignment. Your original post is due June 7th by 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's a Friday, June 7th. Your peer response posts are going to be due Tuesday, June 11th. After June 11th, your response post will no longer be accepted. Okay, points possible for this assignment, 100. My email address, lbenelux@coloradotech.edu. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. And my office hours are always held on Mondays from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right, I hope this was helpful. I will see you for video number 2, where we go over 3 of the topics. All right, thank you.